we got everything from actually an iconic Canadian humorist, Gregory Clark, signed on the inside. Found that one. All the way down to Hi, welcome to Bailey the Bookman. This episode we're going to take a trip a little bit south of Edmonton. I've always wanted to take a couple days, just wander down Highway 2, find some bookstores, antique stores, thrift shops, maybe some yard sales, see if we can find some interesting stuff for the store. So we're ready to go. Let's head out. Well, that's a quick trip from St. Albert to Leduc with the Anthony Henday these days. We're going to pop into the thrift store, have a quick look, and then grab some lunch. We got off to a bit of a late start today because I had a flat tire this morning. First thing, had to get that fixed before you go head out, so c'est la vie. Anyways, we're going to go in. We're going to look through all of these shelves because each shelf has a little bit of everything on it. It's a very interesting way to arrange things. Well, we did reasonably well for our first stop here in Leduc. We've got a nice little bag of books here, and we got everything from actually an iconic Canadian humorist, Gregory Clark, signed on the inside. Found that one. All the way down to fun little stuff like a Marilyn Monroe miniature book. There you go. Okay, off to our next stop. Well, all sorts of interesting stuff in here. Lots of paintings and stuff. This one has caught my eye. So it's the McGrath Mansion in Edmonton, a limited edition colored etching, numbered and signed by the artist. So I think we'll grab that one. Oops, move that if it's in your way.
That's okay.
Okay, we're gonna spend some time in here. Okay. And Wetaskiwin. Well, amen. Look what I found. Well, we popped into the Amen thrift store here in Wetaskiwin. Just go in, have a look, see what we could see, and found a really cool copy. I don't know, it's so sunny here. Rifles and Carbines, complete encyclopedia. I'm going to be, I bought a couple tables at the Edmonton Gun Show at the end of November and 1st of December out in Stony Plain, and so I'm looking for items like that as well for the gun show. So this should work there, I think. Okay, I'm going to fire up. I think we're going to head to Camrose now. Well, with our late start today, time got into Camrose. All the thrift stores are closed for the day. So we're just going to take a nice leisurely drive down Highway 13 towards Wainwright. And we'll go there for the evening and get relaxed, get an early start first thing in the morning. And look how beautiful is it out here. It's just gorgeous. Okay, see you in a little while. Well, we hunkered down in the small town of Irma overnight. Beautiful little town here, kind of southeast Alberta. Had a nice rest. We're going to pack up the truck, go find some breakfast, and then we're going to head to Wainwright. Gorgeous morning here. Here's a little bit what we can see around Irma. Well, we did make it here to Wainwright, so look what I found. The museum, and they have a restaurant in there. So I'm going to go get some breakfast, get some nutrition so we can have a good day hunting for books and stuff here in Wainwright. Well, I think this might be a good start to the day. Come into the lobby of the museum and the restaurant, and what do I find? You never know where you're going to find books. Well, here we are at the Wainwright Museum. I'm going to take a little time away from the book hunting, take in some of the local history. Oh, what do we have here? The People's Home Recipe Book. Published by guess who? I just did a repair on a book very much like this. Well, as I found out last night, a lot of railway history in and around the Wainwright area. The CNR main line runs right through town. And apparently, Wainwright was the main center between Saskatoon and Edmonton back in the day, once they built the trestle over the Battle River in about 1907-08. So they have lots of cool railway history here. That's probably always a good idea. Okay, here we are at one of the only two, I believe, thrift stores in all of Wainwright, and looks like we picked a good day to arrive. 5 books, your choice, $1. I think I can find at least 5 books. Now, it's kind of like thrift store shelving. It looks a little daunting, but this is actually, I love this sort of stuff because you just, one title after another, you never know what you're going to find. Well, one of the reasons I wanted to come to Wainwright was because my grandmother settled here as a very young teenage girl, way back when. I'm not even sure the exact year. So I know we have some family history in and around Wainwright, and I always wanted to come here and to see if I could find out a little bit more about it. So one of the stories my grandma always told us was that, I'm not sure if it was her brother or her father, somebody in the family was involved with the roundup of the buffalo here in Wainwright that ended up going to, I believe, Wood Buffalo National Park. I'm going to have to look into that and get all the details, but looking through all of these photos on the wall, I come upon this one. It's from 1965. And apparently this gentleman right here is a McNern, and that was my grandma's maiden name. Okay, distinct possibility this might be some of my long lost relatives as well. Just kidding. These are the kind of books that I would kind of expect to find here. So it's assigned. A real kind of hyper-local history book. And I've never seen one before, so, I mean, 5 for $1. I think we'll take that one and just see what we see. I imagine somebody's looking for it. Well, sadly, the Salvation Army thrift store here in Wainwright has closed. So, the sun's out. I think it'd be a good afternoon for driving. I'm going to get back on the highway, head back towards home. Well, we made it home safe and sound from our trip down to Wainwright. It was a great trip. Weather was a little sketchy, and it was kind of cool at times. But man, what a relaxing, beautiful drive it is down through that part of Alberta. If you've never had a chance, I would highly recommend it. I mean, you can drive for a couple of 300 kilometers from anywhere in and around the St. Albert, Edmonton area, and there's just a ton of things to see and do, and the scenery is just stunning. So I just want to show you a couple of 3 things that we picked up while we were out hunting the past couple of days. It was some interesting stuff and some interesting places. If you recall, we found that one book in the thrift shop in Wainwright, and it was the Bishop's Letters from Montreal. I looked it up online, and I can't find any listings at all for this book, which is, well, great, but it comes with a problem. I have no basis on which to put a price on it. So I guess it just depends who's interested in it, who's not. But I also found inside was a note from the author written on these cards. It's really cool, and it's a note that she has sent back to the person who ordered this book, and she talks about thank you so much and the response to it, and that she's going to be doing another book, and includes her address to the person who bought the book. So really nice little touch when there's a little note inside a signed book as well. So I don't know. I'm just gonna wait a little while and see and think about this and come up with a price and put it online and see if somebody wants to buy it. Well, this might have been the best find I made on the whole trip. Was this awesome hoodie. I bought it at the Wainwright Museum and Heritage Society, and I'm always keen to support those sorts of organizations. And I got to track down some of my family history while I was in Wainwright, and that was really a lot of fun. Again, I would recommend if you want to take a day or a weekend, take a day trip, Wainwright's a great place to go, lots to see and do, and it's a beautiful drive on the way out there. That's it for this episode of Bailey the Bookman. We will see you down the road.